As we think about this concept of accumulating more money by taking more risk, this notion of the 5 types of people money, as I like to call it, becomes even more relevant as we explore what the Bible has to say about both. Just like today, the Bible is clear that back then there were also 5 types of people money. Those on the one end of the spectrum that had to beg for their daily portion, kind of like this fellow described in John chapter 9, verse 8, and those with silly money, like King Solomon, who had more silly money than he knew what to do with. And yet, as Jesus reminds us in Matthew 6:34, that whether someone has very little or has a lot doesn't really matter, because to all, this issue of not knowing what tomorrow may bring is a truth to behold. Can anyone say 2008? So what is a Christian to do in walking the fine line of being a good steward and saving for the future, while at the same time not worrying about it? Well, let's turn to our good friend Charles Spurgeon for some help on this topic as he shares with us in his morning and evening devotional the daily provision of king and servant in this example of 2 Kings 25:30, where the verse simply states, "Day by day the king gave Jehoiachin," boy, having trouble saying that one.
How do you say it?
Jehoiachin. Jehoiachin.
Some may also pronounce it as Jehoiachin.
Jehoiachin. Yeah, Jehoiachin.
And now you know.
All right, let's try this again. Day by day, the king gave Jehoiachin a regular allowance as long as he lived. Sounds like this fellow Jehoiachin might like the sound of something we send to our clients each day.
Mailbox money!
Of this idea of the king providing Jehoiachin his daily allowance, Spurgeon says this: "If we have enough for each day as the days arrive, we shall never know want." Translation according to Tony: God knows what we need before we need it, and outside these bare necessities, all the rest of our needs simply become wants. And isn't that the source of our worries? Not God providing for our daily needs, but you and I trying to plan for tomorrow's wants, all the while forgetting it is God who provides for them both. It was Jesus who reminded his children that if God will take care of the daily needs of the lilies and the birds, how much more will he be faithful to take care of our daily needs as well? But oh, how soon we forget this basic of all truths about money. Not that we do not have our needs met today, which we do, but that we are fearful that God will not provide for the needs of tomorrow. So what are we to do to eliminate the worries of tomorrow? Well, Jesus tells us in Luke 12:15, where he reminds us that our lives do not consist in the abundance of our possessions. Translation again according to Tony: whether you fall on the one end of the spectrum of having no money, or on the other end of the money spectrum and enjoying all the silly money one can stand, be careful in thinking that your life represents the amount of money you might be able to spend tomorrow, and instead learn to be more content with your Lord satisfying the needs of today. Paul mentions in Philippians 4:12 that we are to be content in whatever we do, whether it's no money or silly money. Now, wait a minute, you say, Tony, we're not to plan for tomorrow? Well, of course we are, but never forget to live for today. Be content with what you have, and if you're a saver, ask yourself, why are you so worried about your money? Could it be that you are taking too much risk with your money when you don't have to? Well, if that's you, might I suggest that you take on an attitude of thanksgiving, thanking God for what he will provide you today and what he has already planned to give you tomorrow. You do this each day, and I assure you that the worries of tomorrow will begin to grow strangely dim. Amen?
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.